Welcome back to the Cord Cutting today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, is the Boomerang cable TV channel shutting down? We're going to be answering that question because we've been flooded with it. T-Mobile is seeing a huge bump in subscribers thanks to Cord Cutting 2.0. We'll tell you just how many. And we have a look at which streaming players are most popular. It's kind of interesting. I always view these, Roku versus Fire TV, Apple versus Google TV, etc. fights much like the old Sega versus Nintendo fights of the 90s. If you remember playing video games in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. We'll tell you what this study says and more here in a quick minute. But if you want to find out more about these stories, I'll put a link to each story in the first pinned comment so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinion. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here and you like what we do, please consider hitting that subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up every Monday through Friday with post breakdowns of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting. With that said, let's dive into it. All right, is Boomerang shutting down? Now, Boomerang has long been listed as our cable channel most likely to shut down this year or sometime soon. And so far, it's doing fine. Now, last week, Boomerang's streaming service, which was nothing but classic cartoons you could subscribe to watch, is being shut down. One little caveat there. The email we received said they would be transferred over to a Max subscription. Apparently, it depends on what tier of Boomerang subscription you have. If you either are getting a refund or if your subscription is being migrated over to Max. So check your email from Boomerang to find out how your account is impacted on that. But is the cable network shutting down? That was a question. And I even saw some stories talking as if it was. No, that channel is continuing for the foreseeable future. There is no change to the Boomerang channel, though I still think it's a very questionable future. Now, Warner Bros. Discovery owns Boomerang. They also just invested and partnered with a competitor, and its competitor is Freee. MeTV recently launched MeTV Tunes as a free over their channel. They'll be launching a free ad-supported version later that's similar but different. And right now, that raises a question. A lot of the content from Boomerang is now on MeTV Plus or Tunes. Will it continue? I don't know. I do think it's one of the most likely cable networks to shut down in 2024, or if it doesn't happen then, probably very soon after. And it's still going to sit at the top of my list. But we're going to keep a very close eye on this. I really do question the future of Boomerang as a channel. Why have a company own two or have an investment in two very competitive channels that basically do the same thing? One being hidden behind a paywall of cable TV with subscriber numbers dropping. You also saw Hulu recently drop the channel. But for now, it's not going anywhere. I just don't think it has much of a future at this moment. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Get your predictions in. How much time does Boomerang have? Do you think it's going to go away? All right, Cord Cutting 2.0, the idea of not just canceling cable television, but cable internet. Increasingly, Americans have more and more options, and it seems that 406,000 of them picked T-Mobile's 5G home internet. In the second quarter of 2024, T-Mobile added 406,000 5G home internet customers, an impressive number, especially when you consider Spectrum and Comcast both reported losing subscribers. With this, we're seeing a continued trend of cord cutting moving not just away from cable TV, but cable internet. I've said this before. For most people, if you're just watching a little Netflix, a little YouTube, you have a security camera and you're doing some online banking, honestly, you don't need those big gig. Cable's been coming out with these, 10 gig, 5 gig. Well, that's great if you're a business or a sports stadium and you want the bandwidth for hundreds, if not thousands of people on your Wi-Fi network. In your house, it's going to be tough to take advantage of that with most devices and just most everyday uses. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on this. But I do think Cord Cutting 2.0 is very real. It is hilariously similar to 1.0 in a few respects, including the fact that cable companies are like, we're getting rid of less profitable customers. That's what they said about TV customers when cord cutting was kind of getting it away. These are not profitable people. These are people who are not serious. They're not looking, they don't watch a lot of TV. They want the cheap packages. It's best for us to just get rid of them and focus on the high profit customers. And now we're getting that exact same story about cable internet. And I think that's a smokescreen. Mark my words, they're very scared. I remember sitting in several conventions over the years and hearing cable executives talk about, oh, cord cutters are just their kids in mom's basement. That's how it started. And there aren't really a bunch of people streaming. These are just a bunch of kids living in their mom's basement watching Netflix and YouTube. Then it turned into these were unprofitable customers, so we didn't want them anyways. And then it turned into full-blown panic mode. We're not in full-blown panic mode on cable TV. We are on the, we didn't even want these customers anyway mode. So we'll keep a close eye on it. But mark my words, cord cutting 2.0 having a major impact and will have an even bigger impact on cable TV and cable internet companies. All right, so what is the most popular streaming player? That's a good question. It's a very hotly contested. I get people telling me I should have a different streaming player behind me because theirs is better. My argument has always been, there's no really wrong answer. It's all personal opinion, what you like. Of course, if you're heavily in the Apple ecosystem, and Apple TV is great. Roku also works with like AirPlay and other devices. It's a lot cheaper. A lot of people like the simple user interface. A lot of people like the power and customization of Google TV or a Fire TV, and many other options on the market. But according to a Parks Associates survey, Roku of 8,000 people, Roku is the most popular streaming player on the market, with 43% of respondents using a Roku. That's more than their competitors, including Google Chromecast, Google TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Amazon came in second at 35%. And the rest followed after that. It was pretty dominating though. This lines up with our surveys that say that Roku continues to dominate. Why? I think it's two things. Price cannot be ignored. A lot of Roku streaming players are very affordable. Second, the very simple user interface. People say, well, it has ads. I don't think a lot of people care. Some people care, but not everybody. And I think the simple user interface is a clear reason why. So question, what makes you pick your interface? When I was trying to set up my grandma or my other family members, they were able to use a Roku because it was so simple. And that's why I selected it for them. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, Amazon's Freee service, which was reported earlier by, I think it was Adweek or something like that. I can't remember the exact words, that it would potentially be shutting down. Well, Amazon denied it and it's continued to run, but it's definitely been adding less and less content, though it did just add 4 new channels, including Miramax, BET, some BET channels, and a CBS Gonzalo network. I hope I said that right. That's a 24/7 soccer, or depending on what part of the world, football network. You may want to watch that. They're now live on Amazon Freevee. Check it out. Let me know. Do you use Amazon Freevee? Do you like it? Leave me a comment. All right. Bally Sports may lose 5 more NBA teams and 2 MLB teams. Now, Bally Sports has struck a deal with Comcast to return there, but it's on the most expensive package. You probably remember me talking about how that still may not solve their problem getting out of bankruptcy. Well, according to Sports Business Journal, and people familiar with this source, Diamond Sports Group, which is the parent company behind Bally Sports, is looking at dropping 5 NBA teams and 2 NHL teams, including for the NBA, Detroit Pistons, Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. These teams would need to go find a new partner. And a couple MLB teams could also be dropped. We'll have to keep a close eye on this, because this increasingly still shows that Bally Sports is far from being able to get out of bankruptcy with a go-forward plan. They have to show the judge at some point, this is our debt, here's our plan to be able to be financially sustainable before the judge will allow about bankruptcy. If they can't show that, and they can't convince the judge that they have some type of go-forward plan, as it's called, to get out of bankruptcy and continue their business, they're just not going to be around. The judge just won't. He could force them into liquidation to satisfy their creditors. The judge is not going to let them walk away from bankruptcy if they're unable to pay their debtors. And this is mostly the bank or the major league teams that they have rights to. So what does that mean? Well, for now, these teams could find themselves looking for new partners. Some already have some limited partners over their networks, could be one option. But it also means that Bally Sports looks at those teams as some least profitable ones. If they drop them, could help them maybe be profitable in the few remaining teams. Increasingly, the number of teams that Bally Sports has is slowly shrinking, and this will be a pretty significant drop. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but Bally Sports, far from a go-forward plan here at the moment. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and a week to come. It is a hot week here in Michigan as schools get ready to get back into session, and summer feels like it flew by this year. I hope you all had a fantastic year or summer. We're going to be, of course, covering cord cutting news every Monday through Friday. If you like what we do, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.